Hola chicos y chicas, soy RKB o espero otro lado Taquita Boyd y basicamente yo hago videos para documentar mi vida. Hola chicos y chicas, my name is Arikat or spelled the other way Takara Boy and basically videos to document my life. Welcome to Love Videos RKB or basically I make videos about my life. So if you're new to my channel, like I said, I make videos to document my life. So how did you even get over here? Did you see me on social media, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you saw me on? I thank you that it brought you all to here. So today's video is actually going to be a series that I have on my channel, the getting closer to God Bible study type of journey, specifically towards women is what we're focusing on, but this is for all people to learn and get closer to God. So the book that we are going to be referencing for our daily videos or whatnot is this Take a Closer Look for Women, 50 Eye-Opening Meditations by Jan Kern. Like I said, I usually do the voiceovers to these videos, but I thought it may be more, it'd be maybe a little nicer for me to actually get on camera for you guys to see me and for us to actually feel like we're talking face to face. So this is the first of that video, so sorry if it's a little awkward for me. I ain't been on camera in a hot little minute, okay? What's going on with my life? Just chilling. Just chilling. Suffering from a little bit of hormonal acne here, guys, so excuse my face, no makeup on. It's early for me because I work 3 to 11 shifts, so your girl just straight up chilling, okay? She wanted to get a video out for you guys, so no judgment, okay? Don't shoot the messenger, okay? Just listen to the message, okay? So without further ado, oh, also, I almost forgot. So I'm thinking about doing a series, like it's all going to be in the same playlist, but I wanted to know if you guys wanted to know more about boundaries in dating. I bought this book not too long ago, actually, before I actually bought this book a little bit after I started dating my boyfriend. It's called Boundaries in Dating, How Healthy Choices Grow Healthy Relationships. And I'm not really deep into it at all. I think I literally read the first chapter and that was it, and I stopped. So I'm thinking to help me get through this, just like how I get through with this one, maybe I can start doing this as well, because it's kind of like, I feel like I'm in like a little group. We could read together and talk about it together, comment in the comment section and all that. So I may be incorporating a thing about dating as well. So currently I am trying to upload a Snapchat Chronicles, which is on my computer, and guys, like I've tried to upload this 3 or 4 times right now, and it's constantly telling me that it will not allow me to upload it. So what's gonna happen is it's probably not gonna be uploaded. It's the one for it's for October through January 1st, and it's edited and everything, but every time it gets to like a certain point, it just doesn't want to upload. So sorry to say, but that will probably not be getting uploaded. The next video may be this video or some type of Bible study video, honestly, because I've been missing doing the Bible studies. So that's what I want to start doing. So yeah, that video is not going to get put up. I've been doing this for 2 or 3 days now. So I was over here looking at the computer, making sure that I exit out of that stuff. So let's go ahead and let's get on to what we're supposed to be talking about today. So the topic of today is, let's see. Okay, so the topic is an endless gift. If you guys don't know what the book looks like, this is what it looks like. I read everything, and then okay, let me not lose my place because your girl be forgetful. So it's about 2 or 3 pages of reading. That's why you hear me do a lot of reading. And then at the end, it's the discussion questions, which, as you can see, this book was from a thrift store, and someone else actually wrote theirs into here, and then I wrote mine right above there to respect what she wrote. I do read what she wrote because, she didn't put her name in here or anything, and if she did put names, I wouldn't put them in here. But that's where you get the discussion questions from, to take a closer look. And then you get like a little history point, and then it goes on to the next section. So literally these don't take long to do. If you were to purchase the book, it doesn't take long to do. It just seems like there's a lot of work going into the Bible studies because it's a voiceover. So I'm constantly stopping. I go use the bathroom, take a sip of something to drink, or go get some food or something. So honestly, it don't take me long to record them. It's the whole thing of interruptions and things. So let's go and jump into this. So I originally did this one October 20th, 2015. If you guys don't know, I graduated high school in 2015, so it's now 2018. You see how long ago I've been doing these? And I literally stopped doing these at, let's see when the last one, I stopped doing these January 30th, 2017. So there may be gaps in here. So we're going over 2 years of probably my roughest times of my life up to date. So if you hear some stuff or see some, like, no judgment, okay? Because these 2015, 2016 was probably my hardest year. 2017 was the coming out of that, and 2018 is the moving forward this year. So you guys are gonna really hear a lot of things if I wrote them in here, because I don't remember what I wrote, but I don't sugarcoat anything that I wrote, because God always uses a person and things that happen to that person as a testimony and to talk about himself. So the things you didn't go through, you may be a bless somebody else, or, you know, be a testimony and may that person find God or something. So I know whatever be in here, like physically that I write in here, I say. I don't sugarcoat it. That's why I always say, if your discretion is advised. If you feel like, you know, it's too explicit, then it's just my journey, you know, and y'all just here with it. Okay, y'all. See, this is why I can't get on camera, because then I just act like I'm talking to my friends, and this is why I do the voiceovers, because I can't with myself. Like, I'm too much. Like, we ain't even start the video yet. We 6 minutes in. Like, what are you doing, bruh? Like, what are you doing? Let me go ahead and get started in these books. Okay, so like I said, I originally did this one October 20th, 2015, and the topic is called An Endless Gift. So we're starting with the first Bible scripture that they give us at the top, and then I'll go on and read the portion that the authors have written. Okay. The woman said, "I am surprised that you asked me for a drink, since you are a Jewish man, and I am a Samaritan woman. Jewish people," and then it has in quotes, "Jewish people are not friends with the Samaritans." Jesus said, "If you only knew the free gift of God and who it is that is asking you for water, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." It's from the John chapter 4, verses 9 through 10 in the NCV version. Okay, now we're on to the big picture. Weariness of life parches the soul. Every footstep through the day feels increasingly heavy and difficult. Whether from circumstances or regretted choices, the Samaritan woman, I hope I'm saying that right, the Samaritan woman might have felt that way as she traveled to the well. The well sat outside the town of Sychar, Sychar, in Samaria. Though nearer sources of water existed. Hold on, I just ran up over that. Let me slow down. Let's reread. Let's slow down. The well sat outside the town of Sychar in Samaria, period. Though nearer sources of water existed, comma, it was better to get her water further away, comma, and when the sun was high in the sky. Okay, because I was not understanding. I had to read slow, okay? The other Samaritan woman wouldn't fetch water at that time. No one would sneer at her and whisper behind her back, "There's that wretched woman who has had many husbands, stay away from her." As she worked her way around the road, she might have passed 12 Jewish men traveling toward town to purchase that day's provisions. She wouldn't speak to them. They'd never speak to her. She was a Samaritan. Jews had a long-standing feud with the Samaritans, seeing them as a mixed breed, cursed, and not fit to live. Just being a woman, the man might avoid her, especially her. So you see how they set up the situation, okay? Check out the situation. The situation is this woman, you know, of a different background from these other people, which is, I guess, from the Jewish background. She's Samaritan, and she comes to the well, and they just like, "What are you doing over here?" Like, they get the feud. Now you know it's a little feuds. Okay, so they're setting it up. Okay, next page. Jesus sat at the side of the well waiting. He'd be there until the disciples returned with their purchases. But before they came back, he'd be there for the Samaritan woman. She arrived carrying her empty water pot and noticed the stranger, another Jew. sitting by the well. She would get her water and leave. "Could I have a drink?" He asked. Startled, she turned to him. "You're a Jew. Why is that you're asking me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?" Jews don't want anything to do with Samaritans. So now you see that he came in contact with Jesus, this living, breathing Jesus, okay, like me and you, come to the Samaritan woman. Jesus be putting himself in situations because he know who gonna come. So God was already waiting there for her, knew when she was coming, knew what was gonna happen before it even happened. So he was sitting there chilling like a villain, and then she come over there, getting her little water, and he he asks her for water, and she like, "What you want to do with me? We from different backgrounds. Like, people don't even want to interact with me." Okay, next step. Instead of reacting to her defensively, reply with compassion, he told her something even more mystifying. Quote, "If you understood the gift of God and who it is who is asking you for water, you would have asked him for living water." Boom. God just dropped the knowledge, okay? Jesus dropped the knowledge, okay? Then let's see what she said. She then challenged him onto two accounts: the impossibility of drawing flowing water from the deep well, and how he could claim to be greater than Jacob, their honored ancestor who built the well. So then it talks about, so that little part right there, people may read over that, but like that part talk about how like some people be putting things like our mayors and presidents and stuff in hierarchy than God. So y'all see that little snippet, how she tried to test him, be like, "Well, Jacob made this well. Like, what you mean you gonna give me something better than what's in this well? Because Jacob made this well. Like, don't come for Jacob." And he like, "Don't come for God." Okay. Okay. Next paragraph. In the next moments, Jesus led the Samaritan woman on a journey of revelation. This man knew the awful secrets of her life. He challenged her to live differently. She would discover that he was the Messiah, the gift of living water, was his everlasting mercy. It was a different kind of water. With his water, she'll never be thirsty in her soul again. Jesus, how you gonna do? You gonna just shake her up like that, okay? She thinking you talking about real water, and you got a deeper meaning to it. God always have a deeper meaning for stuff, that happened in my life, your life, everybody's life. Like, it's always a deeper meaning. Like, you may not understand why people leave, or you don't understand why certain situations happen, but it always be a reason, and you don't realize it until you get out that reason, or until you change your thinking. And God, either way, you're gonna do it on your own, or God gonna make it happen. Like, it's just gonna happen, all right? So then a little quote at the bottom, I'm going to read by, it's Matthew 5, chapter 5, verse 6 in the NKJ version. And it says, "Blessed are those who hunger for thirst, for righteousness, for they shall be filled." Y'all see why I like this? It's like they give you like a little story, and then they give you like the background. They give you the story in the Bible. They give you some background. Then they give you, throw a little history in there, and then they like want you to think about it and apply it to your life, and then boom, they give you the question. So it's like a little Bible study. That's why I like these, and that's why I like coming on camera doing these. I may do these more, even though I don't feel well. Like, I'm coming over here talking about Jesus, okay? But yeah, we're gonna go on to the take a closer look. Okay, so now I want to take a closer look portion. Take a closer look, and then I will be reading the apply it to your life. So I'll let you know when that breaks into the apply it to your life, so you guys can really focus on the apply it to your life, so we can answer the questions together. Okay, take a closer look. The woman was surprised that Jesus ignored the prejudices of his Jewish culture, but notice, absolutely nothing of what happened surprised Jesus. He arrived in Samaria with a determined plan to give a gift, and he would begin with a particular woman at a well. Jesus had never met this woman, but he knew all about her. He knew her heart. His words were filled with compassion as he spoke specifically to her beliefs and her life. He knew what traditions mattered to her and how she worshipped and lived. He used a picture snapped from the toil of her daily existence, the real condition of her thirst, and the drudgery. Let's look that word up, because what we're not going to do, y'all, is just scamper over words we don't know. My mom always told me, like, if you don't know a word, look it up. Okay, so the word is spelled, where'd it go? Y'all, I just lost the word. Drudgery. D-R-U. Then you can find a new word you can start using. D-R-U-D. G-E-R-Y. This is literally what I do when I be doing the voiceovers and I don't know words. I look them up, So drudgery, by the Google definition, says hard, menial, or dull work. So let's reread that sentence. He used a picture snapped from the toil of her daily existence, the real condition of her thirst, and the drudgery of going for water every day. So now that we know that what that word means, using our context clues as well as actually finding the definition, we know that it basically means hard, So she had a difficult journey, always having to go for water every day, and she would encounter these Jewish men chastising her, and stuff like that. Okay, so in the drudgery of going for water every day, he turned that into an offer for living water. So like I just said, like earlier, like sometimes God uses your situations that you may do daily, or things or people that you encounter every day, to somehow teach you about something or make you look at something in different lights. Like her, she what's her name, Samaritan, or is that just what she was? So she just a Samaritan woman. She don't have a name. So the Samaritan woman always going to fetch the water, and how she always come in contact with the Jewish man, and it's just like she always have an issue, based on a long feud, and it just feel like she be chastised, and then how she had married a bunch of times, and so she felt low about herself, but God about to show her, okay, that he got the living water, not the well water, but the living water, okay. So let's continue. He carefully laid bare all that would keep her from his living water, a hardness, a belief, a lie. Each revelation freed her a little more, and then he shared another that would free her forever. Quote, I am the Messiah you have waited for. The grace I give is like the living water that never stops flowing, end quote. The Samaritan woman came to the well alone with an empty water pipe and an empty life. Jesus gave her a gift that never ends, and she walked away full. And then there's a little quote by John Owen. Let me read it. It says, quote, as rivers, the nearer they come to the ocean, whither they tend, the more they, as rivers, the nearer they come to the ocean, whither they tend, the more they increase their waters and speed their streams, so will grace flow more fully and freely in its near approaches to the ocean of glory. Okay, so now I want to apply it to your life. So I want you to go ahead and zoom into this section and really listen, because we're going to answer the questions either in the comment section, or you don't have to comment in the comment box. You can email me, or you just keep that to yourself, girl. Keep it to yourself. You and Jesus know, okay? But I'm going to say my answers on camera. So this is to apply it to your life. Okay. A difficult past can dim the present. Even if you feel as if you're different, even if you feel as if you're a different person today, memories and regret cast their long shadows. Surely they do. Because I already know what I think I wrote. So this right here was like a lifesaver when I was going through this situation. Okay. Let me take myself out of this. Let me let y'all get to Jesus, okay? Labels either others or your own are hard to shake. You begin to believe them after a while. The Samaritan woman might have felt that way too. She went to the well alone. Her choices and circumstances made her an outcast, but she probably hoped her life would get better. Jesus took the time with her alone and carefully showed her who he was and who she could become. She could be free from her past. And I started this and underlined this little section, so let me go ahead and read this. Jesus knows you as well as he knew the Samaritan woman. Every detail, every hurt, and every mistake. Let me reread that, because some of y'all be thinking Jesus just like be up there and he just be like, oop, let me drop this on her today. Oop, no, let me reread this so you know how much God know you. Okay, let me read. Okay, Jesus knows you as well as he knew the Samaritan woman. Every detail, every hurt, and every mistake. He knows your toil. He knows your loneliness. You have sat by your well of hurts day after day. But now he offers you his living water. Take it. Let it wash away the labels, memories, and regrets forever. So I think I underlined this section. Let me just Yeah, okay, because I was in a real bad relationship at this time. Okay, I remember this situation. But I'm not going to get myself into this. But basically, why I underlined that was because sometimes we have to remind ourselves of those things. Like, God knows better than we know ourselves sometimes. God knows about every little hair on our head, little hair that we don't have. He know our every imperfection. He know what we're going to do before we even do it. God just know you inside and out entirely, okay? Your mind and your external, okay? He made you. Like, what you mean he don't know you, okay? You be like, oh, nobody know me. Jesus know me. I mean, I still say people don't know me, but Jesus know me. Jesus know my heart, okay? He know what it is, okay? He know what things I'm still trying to work on getting through. He know what I'm doing at this moment, things like that. So it's sometimes we can try and disconnect ourselves from God and be like, no, he up there, I'm down here. No, he's what's it called, omniscient? Am I saying that word right? He's all over the place at one time. Like, he's all knowing, all powerful. Like, so let me go ahead and humble yourself. Okay, let me humble you right quick and tell you that God know you. Like, don't be acting like that, okay? And he just be trying to bring you that living water. Like, you will never be thirsty, okay? Okay, so now we're going into the next portion. Okay, I'm still reading from the Apply to Your Life. Now, see yourself as he sees you. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are forgiven, okay? Let me reword that, okay? You are beautiful. You are loved. And you are forgiven, okay? Because it's like they were saying in the beginning, it's really hard because sometimes like, especially with my depression and stuff, I can just wake up in a good mood and like someone just hit me like, dang, you remember what you did back in 2015? That literally happened in my mind. Dang, you remember what happened on this day with this person? Like, it just be like, it'd be just trying to pick at you. That's why I have to stay prayed up and with my Jesus, because the devil be busy. And it just be those negative spaces that you can get into, like, especially when you had a bad week or like a bad day at work. It's just like, that's when all the times want to go ahead and attack you at the weak moments. So it's just like, you have to remember that you are beautiful, you are loved, you are forgiven. I'm not saying keep messing up and keep asking for forgiveness, but you got to learn from your mistakes. You can't keep making the same 6 mistakes or the same 2 mistakes or the same 1 mistake. Like, do you ever learn? Like, seriously, like, wake yourself up. Like, stop it. Like, I had to do it in this situation. I'm talking about, stop it, okay? That's what I had to basically, what was that noise? Basically, that's what I had to do for my life, okay? And so I understand this wholeheartedly. Okay, next portion. Remember these truths the next time you are discouraged by the shadows of your past. Like I was just saying, like, when you down and low, remember those. I mean, you ain't got to chant it and be all like crazy and stuff, but just like when you would get up in the mirror, you could just be like, you beautiful, you loved, and you are forgiven. If that's like what you need to do at the situation that you are doing, then go ahead and do it, to each his own. And then it says, remember that Jesus comes to you personally to encourage you toward all you can become. Spend time at his will. And that's important too, because I be telling people how, like, we can get so wrapped up and we be so busy with work, school, if you have kids, if you marry, like whatever. And it just be like, dang, now I got to try to fit in God in your schedule. Well, yeah, fit God in your schedule. God fit your whole life in his life and his schedule all the time. You know how many people God got to look after? He got to look after this whole world, humans. Then he got to look after the animals, and he got to look at his earth. He got to look over everything. So if God got time to look at all of that, the whole world, not just the United States, the whole world, and still have time for you, what do you mean you don't have no time? Okay, if you got a schedule penciling time for God, like, okay, like what I used to do was we used to have this Bible study like on the phone, and we used to get up, I think 6 or 7 in the morning and do a Bible study every morning. Ever since then, I just try to get up and pray in the morning immediately, and before I go to bed, I put that time aside for prayer. And then, especially when we doing these Bible studies, or sometimes when I feel like, dang, I need to get some Jesus because, I ain't been going to church. I've been busy with work at school. I just been discouraged. I feel like my soul is like, it's like low. So I literally would pull out one of these, or I'll start watching like a bunch, like when I be on Facebook at night, people be like, oh, you on Facebook all night? Yeah, I be watching a lot of preaching stuff. I be watching church because I like to, enlighten my soul, okay? And sometimes you have to just put that time aside for God. Sometimes it'll just happen. Whenever I'm tired now, because I feel like I have insomnia, like whenever I'm super tired and I can't go to sleep, I try to just Google like Bible studies or something. And I just like to listen to it. And sometimes it'll be something that just happened in my situation. I feel like that's God, like just putting that in my ear. And I literally fall asleep. Literally, not boom, fall asleep, but I'll start falling asleep. Because sometimes when your mind be so busy and always like do like that, sometimes you need God to just take it. And the next day I feel good. So, I mean, that's how I pencil in my little time for Jesus or whatnot. So, okay. So on to this verse at the bottom. It says, "Oh God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water." Again, talking about this idea of this flowing water, this living water. That was by Psalm 63:1 and the NIV version. I do put all the I do put all the Bible verses as well as the topics in the description box before my get to know me portion. So you're able to go back into there. And I also either post the questions in the description box or I post the questions in the comment section. Either I do it in the comment section or description box, or sometimes I do both. Just depends on my mentality that day. So if you're ever looking for the verses to go back and reference, or the topic for the day, or the quotes, they're always in the description box. I always link the Bible Gateway website. My pastor, which is my uncle, put me on to that. I love that website. They have it in Spanish. They have it in a lot of different languages. They have it in different versions. I personally like the easy to read version, the ERV version. A lot from which I read from is the NJV or the new version, or like the King James, that's the other one, King James or New International Version, stuff like the NIV. But I like the ERV because I like to get to the point and understand, because some people get wrapped up in all the spelling and the ye and the thee and all that. But I like the easy to read version because it gets straight to the point and I truly do understand it. So and also the differences with the different versions and stuff, it's just wording. Sometimes it should be just wording, but it shouldn't be no change of the whole line of what the Bible is and what it stands for. It should just be wording, just like translation. Okay, so now we're on to the how others see it portion. Sorry guys, I had to take a little intermission. You see why I do these voiceovers? Because I do get thirsty every second. That's why the clips are always changing. I either get thirsty or I have to use the bathroom, or gotta put the clothes in the dryer, but I always come back and finish what I started. Okay, so we're on the how others see it portion. So basically, let me go through the order of the thing. So it's the topic, then you get the Bible verse, you get the big picture, you then get take a closer look, you then get apply it to your life, you then get how others see it, which we're going to start reading, and then through the eyes of your heart, which is the questions and the prayer. So let's go ahead and go into how others see it. The story highlights the interaction between an individual and Jesus. The result was a dramatic change of heart. J. Alexander Finlay in the Fourth Gospel said, quote, "Jesus came to the fountain as a hunter. He threw a grain before one pigeon that he might catch the whole flock. She tried to get the better of the thirsty man. She showed her dislike of the Jew. She heckled the rabbi. She was swept off her feet by the prophet, and she adored the Christ," end quote. Brent Riggs, author of Daily Devotions at SeriousFaith.com, warned about the wrong places to quench your thirst. So now this is talking about how sometimes we do go to the wrong things, and when we feel like we being attacked or the world is getting too difficult and situations getting too difficult, we tend to go to other things when we're supposed to be going to God. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, and then God be looking at you like, "Now I told you the living well was over here, but you sitting here going to John." Like, John ain't me. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this little warning. Okay, let's read this, because some of us do this, and I've done this. I still do this. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, but I'm just telling you what this situation, this little part about talk about. Okay, quote, "We all thirst. It's part of our nature. We thirst for happiness. We thirst for love. We thirst for fulfillment. We thirst for contentment. We thirst for completion. And we thirst for restoration. ... The world claims to quench your thirst with materialism, pleasure, drugs, achievement, or recreation. Oh, it does quench your thirst temporarily. Let me reread that. The world claims to quench your thirst with materialism, pleasure, drugs, achievement, or recreation. Oh, it does quench your thirst temporarily. But like the sun rising in the east, it will return like clockwork. Jesus offers the drink which quenches, satisfies, and fills, end quote. So like that's going back to the whole idea of this water, this whole idea of the living water. Like sometimes we go to those quick fixes. Like, you know, you just go to things that's going to like make it better in that moment, in that time, in that quick second. But sometimes you have to take the quote unquote harder route and allow for you to get fulfilled completely than for you to get fulfilled halfway. And then you be sitting there wanting your other half fulfilled when you could have got your whole bundle, your whole package deal, your whole 2-for-1, buy 2 get 3 free, if you would have just went the other way, which is talking specifically about going in with Jesus. Okay, so now we're going into the zooming in portion. So this is the part where I told you guys what I give you a little bit of history of the topic which you're talking about, which I appreciate because, you know, it's like, you like, especially if you're one person like me, like I think I'm only in Numbers, or I think I'm in Deuteronomy or something of the Bible. I'm trying to read the whole Bible in my lifetime, okay? And not just read it to read it, but read it to comprehend and understand, to teach. But you know, I like these little zooming in portions because it gives you a little bit of history, and you kind of make it connect to the story because it's, you know, in that moment of which we're doing the Bible study of the topic, okay, of which our topic is, remember, an endless gift, which is talking about this living water, okay? So let's go ahead and read the zooming in portion, which states, living water was a common expression in ancient times and referred to water that flowed, like that from the streams, rivers, and fountains. These waters were called living because they continue to flow rather than grow stagnant. Traditionally, rabbis have used water that flow for ritual purification. For more than 23 centuries, Samaritans have believed the well mentioned in John 4 was the one built by Jacob of the book of Genesis. Such a well still exists today near Sychar, Sychr. An explorer in AD 670 said it was 240 feet deep. In 1861, it was reported to be only 75 feet deep. So that portion, what that was talking about was like the history. So the whole idea is living water, and why people say God is like a living water, a flowing water. Just because back then that's just what it was used by, you know, for purification reasons. So we try to connect things to something that we don't know really much about, to something that's relevant or understandable in our own terms. So that's why that term living water was used in this throughout here. But I wanted to make sure that people understood what that meant, because when I first heard living water too, not when I was reading this, but going to church and stuff, I never knew what they were talking about. And then I had to start connecting it to things like, I don't remember what I really exactly connected it to in the beginning, but like you can connect now, like with the rivers and streams, and how you see like waterfalls and how they just flow and they continue, okay? And then how you always hear about water purification or sprinkling holy water or things like that. So that's the connection for that. And then with the whole idea of the well, it's talking about you as a person and how you need to get filled up with I'm losing my train of thought. How you're like the well, and no matter how deep you are, you need to still, you know, have water, the flowing water, live. So it's like a history, but it also connects to what we're talking about. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the through the eyes of your heart, which are where the discussion questions are coming from. All right, guys. So now we're on the through the eyes of your heart. The quote at the top here, and then I'll be reading the questions, and I'll be reading what the other woman said and what I said. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So the quote says, Jesus, well, it's not a quote, but it's just like a little expert at the top, okay? Jesus comes to sit at your well and offers an endless gift, his spirit living inside you. He comes to you personally, knowing all that might keep you from enjoying his gift. So that goes back to what I was saying, like, God know you inside and out. Like, you can't hide from God. If you hide from God, God he gonna wait for you, but eventually he gonna make it where you come back around. Like, God, like, this lifetime, like, you are not your own, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and read the questions. 3 discussion questions. I'm gonna read what the woman said, and then I will read what I said. Okay, so the first question says, what do you find in your well of regrets and hurts? What do you long for instead? Will it free you? I'm also going to answer this honestly today because this is a situation, but I will read that, but I'm going to also talk about my own. So I'm going to go ahead and read hers first. It says, I regret being foolish in relationships. I long for a relationship with God. I long for my heart to belong to him. I pray that will free me. And then I put agreed. And then I put past relationships, sexual promiscuity, etc. to be in a good relationship and be able to provide success. Okay, the next question was, what do I find that today? Today is different because I'm out of that space. So honestly, it's the same idea. Which I do have a good relationship with, significant other as well as God. But I feel like I am more successful than I was at that time in my life. Like I said, this is old, so I'm just trying to reapply it to today and see if I can give you guys a question today, living today. But honestly, I'm out that space, which that's what I asked for. So, thank you, Jesus. So the next question is, Jesus sees the beautiful person you can be, not the labels you're hanging on to. When you shed those, what do you see? So she put, I see a fun and happy and awesome person, not said conceitedly, someone who is full of life. And then I literally just put agree, and I put content, to be a content person. Same thing today. Like, I just want to be, I put that on everything. Like, I put that on my social media. I put that when I first meet people. I do that. I say, all I want to do is, what is it? It's on my Facebook. Now I feel bad because I'm forgetting it, and I'm the one who put it on there. It's kind of like the whole idea, I just want to live, love, and travel. But let me find it on my Facebook page because I know it. It's like, let me see. I'm putting it on my Facebook page, y'all. Literally in my bio, my intro say, I just want to be happy, serve God, and travel. That's all I want in life. Be happy, serve God, and travel. Like, I've been saying that since maybe middle school. Literally, that's all I want to do. And I always say I want to love and be loved. That's it. That's all. Ain't gotta give me nothing. It ain't a whole lot, okay? I ain't asked for money. I ain't asked for a big old house because that's all material stuff, Okay, third question. Are there loved ones who have hurt you? Each request for forgiveness can bury one of your regrets. What might you do or say? So she put, my parents and sister. Sometimes I'm not as patient as I should be. I need more patience. And then I put my mother and anyone else I have hurt. I was someone different at that time, but now I'm different. And that's the same thing. Like, I'm not going to keep asking, and I'm not going to keep asking people to forgive me, or I'm not going to keep saying sorry for stuff that happened in the past because it's the past. Like, move on. Like, but I do hope deep down that the people that I just said there, as well as people that I just didn't have the time to write out, or stuff that's in my current situation, that those people know that I'm truly sorry. Because at that time, just like all of us are at different times in life, we are different people due to certain situations that make us act in a certain way. I'm not saying that excuses for any actions that a person has done, but I am saying that to say that certain situations make us think differently or look differently, and when we get out of those situations, we're able to see where those people were coming from, and we're able to evaluate how we truly were acting at that time, and see how that they were only trying to help. Because sometimes in those situations, we try to look at like, oh, everyone's against you, when people either are really all against you, or people really are willing to help you and wanting to help you and only want the best for you. So that's a lot of situations, especially with like teenagers. With me only being 20, I was just a teenager like a day ago. But I can say that now because I do feel like I'm more grown up than how I really was when I was back in middle school. And I'm not immature like and the way you think in education wise, but in certain situations and decisions that I decided to make back in the past, even just as early as 2016, would it only be in 2018? I mean, I could say that some of those decisions were foolish. You're fool, okay? But it's good that I can say that about myself, because I can know that I've truly grown from where I've come. So that's some self-reflection. That's how I answered that question today. Okay, so that ends this Bible study for today. So let's remember a couple things. The topic today is an endless gift. What's the endless gift? The endless gift is the living water. What is the living water composed of? The living water is composed of getting all what you need from Jesus Christ, what to be warned about. Don't be looking at this world to try to answer them questions. And if you do, know that the world is only going to give you semi through that whole circle, okay? It's going to only give you maybe halfway, but your rest of your soul going to be unfulfilled, because to fulfill you truly, you need Jesus, okay? You need God. Like, you can't do it all by yourself. He ain't asked you to do it by himself, you know. What's the next point? Let me just recap. Oh, let's reread this together. Now see yourself as he sees you. You are beautiful, you are loved, and you are forgiven. So if you need to feel like you need to wake up every morning, or before you go to bed, or whenever you feel down or low, you can say those things to yourself. You are beautiful, you are loved, and you are forgiven. Let's see. I think I hit everything. Oh, another thing. Self-reflection is good. It really is. That's why I like when I do these on camera, because I feel like I'm really talking to somebody, number one, and then number two, you get to really see it in my face, like the compassion and things. Sorry, my video cut off, guys. Someone is actually currently calling me. That's why my video cut out. But basically, that's just a review. I'll put everything in the description box or comment box. So guys, thanks for watching. Adios, chicas y chicas. Te amo. Bye.